What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Miguel. You're watching Miguel EDC. That's right, the channel where we talk about everything EDC gear here. And today we're checking out this decently large box. I want to be sharing this unboxing experience with you guys. I'm not sure exactly what knife is in here, but we're about to find out together. Now, you may already know based on the title and thumbnail. Just know I'm going in blind. I'm not sure what knife or knives. Right, there's very likely there's more than one knife in here for sure. So let's find out together, shall we? Doing the honors today, we have the Vosteed Thornton, and recently unboxed this one in the channel. Check out the unboxing video if you haven't already. It is a design from Wayne's Sharp World. Wayne's Sharp World is one of our fellow YouTubers here, and he's also a content creator. And I just think it's pretty cool that he got his design out there and it turned into this knife collaboration with Vosteed. This one has been a ton of fun here to carry. And of course, this one and every other knife that you see in this video will be linked down below if you want to check out availability, prices, and everything else in between. Those help out the channel when you use those links, but that is entirely up to you and at zero extra cost. With that in mind, let's go ahead and dive right in. I'm going to make an incision right down the middle. All right, there we go. I'll make some other cuts here, shall we? There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. That sheep's foot putting in work. Bam, bam. All right, and what do we have going on with this one? We got Bluminati and Bluminati and Twisted Sis. Twisted Sis. Okay, that's pretty interesting decals there. I know Bluminati is one of our fellow YouTubers in the knife pass around, so check him out. Oh, check out this nice ninja Velcro patch right here. That looks really good. We got all kinds of goodies here. Bluminati coming through with the sticker overload. There we go. Bluminati Ninja right there. We got the katanas going on the side. Twisted Sis. Okay. I want to say I'm not familiar with Twisted Sis, but I want to check them out as well. And yeah, some more of that Bluminati and Twisted Sis swagger going on right there. And yeah, without further ado, I had a feeling it was more than one knife, and I was not wrong. We got one, we got two knives. So yeah, let's take a look here. Let's see what we have. Nothing else in the box. And here we go. Which one should we check out next? Let's see. We got the Wrath V2. All right, now we're talking. And the Wrath V2. All right, so we got two models here from Tuya Knives. I'm excited for these because I really ended up liking the Tuya Wrath, the first version, and that was one of my all-time favorite knives. I think Dave Warren did an awesome job with that design. And here we have the version 2, so it's an improved version of the Wrath. We have S9EV on both, and manual satin finish, DLC, and straight back on one. And this one has manual satin DLC Tanto. All right, that should be interesting. And handle material PVD black titanium. All right, so let's check these out in no particular order, right? Since they're pretty much both the same knife. All right, we got the fancy case going on here. And these are sealed nice and tight because they don't want to open. Well, that's a sign of, okay, there we go. All right, that was sealed really solid. All right, so here we are. Bam. All right, I missed the V1 now already. So I had it for a little bit. Check out the Tuya Wrath, the original unboxing and review here in the channel. This is the V2, all right? And I can already see a little bit of a difference right there in the jimping. The one on the V1 was really aggressive and not necessarily in a bad way. It was very functional. This one is a little bit more subtle. Love the thumb studs. They look really elegant, premium feeling. And yeah, blacked out titanium and a DLC blade. Sign me up. We got thumb deployment and reverse flick on a frame lock knife. Beautiful. Without further ado, if you guys are ready, I'm ready. Bam. Talk about a detent with some, what do we have? With some good tuning, all right? The first things that really drew me to the Wrath, the original one, was this Savage blade. You have a dual ground, right? A flat grind right here towards the front, a hollow grind right here in the actual, like the middle section. And I feel like that combination right there just looks so, so good. Of course, with DLC, you have an additional level of protection. But I gotta tell you, I love how this belt satin finish comes through. Even with the DLC coating, you can still see the belt satin lines, right? Pretty good, pretty decently, and I think that looks savage. I want to say size-wise, I'm not sure if there's a difference size-wise with the V1. It sort of feels more or less the same size, in my opinion. Yes. Good access to the lock bar, just as the original one. So they might have tweaked a few things, but, you know, some things obviously are going to be the same. It's the same model, just a renewed version. I don't see any milling on this one. I think there might have been some other variants as well. This one is kind of orange peel, black titanium, right? Matching back spacer. And you got this pocket clip, which is also very comfortable on the hand. So, again, let's get that thumb deployment one more time. Bam! Got to give it the beans for it to open. And it's a drop shotty. All right, it's actually pretty decent. Got to give it a little bit of a shake, and it goes. Let's try that reverse flick. Ooh, okay. So I do remember that reverse flick being a little bit, that D10 being a little bit on the stiff side. So I got to give it a good amount of push for it to work. So probably not my favorite way of doing a reverse flick. I also remember from the V1, the sort of the same axis you have on the show side to the thumb stud. It's actually cut short a little bit on the non-show side. On the lock bar side, the handle is actually a lot closer to the thumb stud. So this is going to be a thumb deployment for me, for the most part, and a front flipper. Yes, front flipper goodness right there. All right, and I want to say the jimping here is more generous as compared to the version 1, right? It's good balance between soft but still functional, so it doesn't necessarily have to be as aggressive as it was on the first version. And then maybe they rounded it off a little bit, maybe. That could be. And bam, that definitely works really good. All right, nice drop shot action there. Smooth, good alignment on the blade. So check out this other one. So that one is looking good so far. And man, these boxes definitely seal up really good. I don't want to break the little tab, but yeah, did you hear that little airtight sound? Here's the next one. All right, another V2, same black titanium, orange peel titanium going on the handles. All right, same finish on the pivot, on the thumb stud. So this one should have a tanto. Bam, and there it is. Holy smokes. Okay, now I'm completely indecisive. So for me, it used to be that definitely this combo right here was the way to go, right? And I think these are straight back. I mean, there's an ever so small amount of drop to them, so it could go either way, drop point, straight back. You think you get the idea there, but yeah, this is, you know, such a beautiful blade geometry here, especially with the dual ground and this wedge, also with the bell satin. And then they kicked it up a notch with a tanto version, which also looks mean as heck. And got the flat grind in the front, same hollow ground going on here towards the back. Holy macaroni. Okay, let's check out that drop shot action. Similar. I don't know if you guys heard that detent, like, right, that detent. That feels really good. By the way, that DW you see there on the blade, that is Dave Warren, right? The designer, and also Tuya representative here in the US. So yeah, this is the first version of the Wrath was a home run. So this one being a more refined version, right? You can see nice chamfering all around the handles. I'm not sure if there was a version, I think there might have been a version with the carbon fiber inlays. What I do miss from the V2, if I remember correctly, and again, I will link these in the description so you guys can check every possible available variant for this model. But what I do miss from the V2, based on what I saw originally, is that frag pattern on the original Wrath. That's the one that I got to check out and carry and review, and man, I ended up falling in love with that frag pattern. This one is just more of the plain titanium. So I'm typically more of a, hey, you know, give me a little bit of personality, right? Give me a handle that tells me a little bit of a story, that has some sort of continuous pattern. That is more so up my alley, if you would. But, you know, if you're someone that likes smooth titanium, right, can't go wrong with that either. Reach around, man, that D10 is something. I gotta tell you that. That is one thing I sort of remember from carrying the original Wrath, is that the D10, they tuned the D10 to be really, really hard, or no, more on the stiff side. And I know, like, you know, Lefty, for example, Kevin, he likes his detents very, very strong, right? I don't mind a sort of middle of the road, all right? You wouldn't want like a really loosey-goosey detent either. But front flipper wise, I've been checking out the Militaw, and I feel like this one is just so smooth. Doesn't really need to have a strong detent for you to still get a really good front flipper action. So that comes to mind because I've really been carrying this one a ton, and I'm recording the review video tomorrow to send it forward. And another one that comes to mind is a flipper, front flipper only, the Kizer Momo. And this one is also tuned really good, especially with the front flipper being the only deployment option. It works actually pretty good. And again, the detent doesn't have to be, right, I don't want to say not as stiff. So this is just something unique or particular, right, to the Tuya Wrath I found. Kind of got that impression with the first one. Same deal going on here with the second one. But again, you know, it just really comes down to your preference, not a issue in any way, shape, or form. So ergonomically speaking, I mean, these knives do a good job with locking you in. In a way, it sort of guides your fingers. Not that you're locked in, but it guides your index finger to fall in this lock bar, you know, kind of section. And then all their fingers follow suit. I mentioned this about the original one. The only possible time you may have an issue is if you maybe have bigger hands and your pinky falls like right here in the peak of the handle. That might be a thing, but you know, maybe if your hands are big enough, then maybe it falls, I don't know, like somewhere here in order to make it comfortable in between the ring finger and pinky, right? That might be the other way, but yeah, I just feel like at that point, you would want a forward choke, right? And that's another thing that these have done really well. The forward choke option right there, you are locked in and ready to go. By the way, these are some of the most sliceiest knives I've checked out here in the channel. And man, oh man, that DLC just keeps getting more and more beautiful here as the video goes on. But yeah, you can forward choke this thing, and then you got the belly version, right? Or you get the Tanto version. And man, now I don't know which one I would get, honestly, out of these two. I mean, now it just sort of feels like you got to get both because they're both just that savage looking. So very, very interesting. Of course, with the Tanto, at least you get that peak right there. You could use for utility cuts if you wanted to, as compared to a belly, full belly on the other version. So yeah, you gotta sort of pick your poison right there. So again, good access to the lock bar. You got a steel insert for steel and steel contact. The stress relief cutout is on the outside. It's actually milled on the inside for weight reduction, as you can see. And I want to say weight wise, is there a difference weight wise? I don't know. Let's find out. All right, here we go. Boom, 4.2 on the drop point regular belly version, I guess, 4.2, and you have 4.2, right? So yeah, definitely very well tuned, same weight. So it's not like there's a trade-off on the weight department in any way, shape, or form with one blade geometry over the other. And oh, here we go. Camera just kind of freaked out there for a second. It's like, hey, where did everybody go? But yeah, that is just one thing about the Wrath, right? Very strong and detent. I feel like you get used to it, right? Once you carry it for a day or two, you would know exactly the right amount of pressure to use when thumb deploying it, when front flipping it, when doing the reach around. By the way, those are all pretty solid. And again, I want to give them credit. I want to say they reviewed the front flipper and made it so it's not as aggressive, yet still, there we go, as functional as ever. So I feel like it before it was a little bit aggressive, where it would, you know, kind of chew your fingers a little bit if you weren't careful with it. That's how aggressive it was. But now it's a good balance of smooth and effectiveness going on. And the good thing about them is they do kind of fold around enough to where you can get enough grip, even doing the reach around like that. Boom, you are good to go. So yeah, for a size comparisons here, I could probably go talking all on and on about these two. I have already reviewed this knife. The review video will be dropping here in the channel soon. I have the unboxing on the original Wrath. So let's just do some size comparisons, shall we? So I'll keep, maybe, do I want to keep both in frame? Maybe. Let's do that. We have a unique opportunity to check two models at the same time, so why not? Or same model, two different variants at the same time, so why not? Here's your Para 3, your PM2, right? So it's definitely bigger than the Para 3 by a little bit. Definitely shorter than the PM2. So somewhere the average between the PM2 and Para 3. Here's the Demko AD 20.5 and the Shark Cub. All right, check that out. So both the Shark Cub and the Demko AD 20.5 are going to be shorter, as you can see. You got the Civivi Sentinel Strike. That's going to be a larger knife, no doubt. And the Civivi Vision FG. That was also going to be a little bit larger, right? Not by much. It definitely comes closer to the, compares a lot closer to the FG as compared to the Sentinel Strike. And last but not least, here's the CJRB Pyrite. That's going to be a shorter knife. And the Vosteed Raccoon might be maybe right there, right? So if anything, these knives are Vosteed Raccoon size, right? Take a look. And of course, the idea here is just to give you a ballpark, right? More or less, if you own any of those other knives, then you know more or less where the Tuya Wrath V2 lands. So yeah, it just feels to me like it's the Tuya Wrath, but with, you know, a few revisions here and there. Obviously, I'm going to go into more detail about that during the review video. A lot of it is going to be much of what I said for the original one, because, you know, it's just already such a solid EDC knife. So let's do a scientific cutting test here. We're going to cut some paper and some cardboard, ladies and gentlemen. So here we go. Oh, there we go. Missed it that first time. So it is no secret that hollow ground is going to cut like nobody's business. Wow. That goes into the paper like, whoop, look at that. That piece just came right off. So both are, you know, they have a really good, yeah, it feels like they have a really good toothy edge. Yes. Yeah, no dings, nothing on the blade that would affect the performance. And these, I want to say, all right, so with the Tanto version, just know you have, I want to say, a good portion of that flat edge, but at some point you kind of run out of cutting path. So I don't know, ballpark spitballing here around 1 3/4, right? 1.75. And with this one, it's a little bit more continuous because there's no peak there, right? So let me see. Is it a little bit longer on here? Yeah, it's actually a tad bit longer, right? Kind of where the two dual grounds meet and this other edge right there. That's about right there, 1.92, right? So yeah, you get just a little bit more maybe cutting path with the belly version as compared to the Tanto version. See, what's happening here is my cut kind of goes up as I'm tapering off. You know, it's a pretty sudden taper. And with the belly version, let me see. All right, this was the version that I checked out the first time too. There you go. See, it's going to be a more continuous cut. So if you're looking for the sliciest one out of the two, the one that's probably least likely to taper off with the longest portion of that, you know, straight edge, if you would, will be the belly one for sure. So, I mean, it's no secret. Both of them can cut paper, right? That's no doubt. It's just a matter of, you know, kind of how long of a straight edge do you have before you taper off, and it just works a tad bit better with the belly version for that slicing or cutting than the Tanto. But it's not taking a credit away from necessarily either one or the other. It's just, you know, observations wise. When cutting cardboard, keep in mind don't cut perpendicular, but rather at an angle. And we'll just cut some cardboard here. All right, my forward choke here. Make sure the corner of the edge doesn't sink in. So that went pretty good. All right, so you saw. And now I got the Tanto version. Oh yeah, just as good. So I feel like as long as you forward choke and then you run your index finger next to the cardboard like that, then you should be fine, right? So either way, whichever one you go with. There we go. Full cut with the Tanto there. Back to the belly version. I got forward choking locked in. Yeah, hollow ground putting in work. Absolutely no doubt about that. Bam. Check out that cut. So yeah, this thing is going to go through material really well. It also has S90V, which is one of my favorite steels. And with this DLC, right, notice the moment I wipe it, it should clear off those or original cutting lines that we had there a second ago. See, now they are gone, right? Same deal here. Maybe have some marks from going through material. With the DLC coating, you give it a nice little wipe, and boom, they are gone. So yes, it's nice to have an additional level of protection right there. Not that S90V needed corrosion resistant protection or anything like that, but it's just nice to have, right? Aesthetically, right, it looks all murdered out, which is nice. By the way, go ahead and rate these in the comments. How sharp are they on a scale from 1 through 10? Obviously, they have a factory edge. They have already been used by other YouTubers as well, so it's not like it's a brand new edge either. So obviously 10 being the sharpest. Let me know in the comments. Well, there you have it, guys. That is the Tuya Wrath V2, right? Very, very interesting to check out a revision of the Tuya Wrath after having checked out the original one. Here we are, version 2. There's one thing that Tuya just really does a good job. They often will put out a banging design, right? That's already a default banging design like the Wrath. And then they'll take feedback from the community and make it even better, right? Dave Warren does a really good job of that. Obviously, he's a designer here. And yeah, they implemented a few things here and there to make a knife that was already a home run an even bigger home run. So that is what it takes. I mean, similar story with the Caladan. This is the V2 because there was a V1 and they took feedback to make it better. So now we have a V2, right? So Tuya knives in general, they're just doing an awesome, awesome job. So check out Tuya knives if you haven't already. Check out the original unboxing on the Tuya Wrath. If you're completely new to Tuya, that is definitely one that you want to check out for sure. And just many other models already. Some, they kind of go from savage to more savage. So definitely check out Miguel EDC Tuya knives. Just search that on YouTube. You'll see the different videos that I have on different Tuya knives already. So if you made it to this point, guys, let me know what do you want to see in the review video. This is just, again, an unboxing, first impressions. I have already reviewed the Tuya, the original one, so check that out. In the meantime, I'm going to carry these knives obviously for a little bit of time, try to gather as much feedback as I possibly can. There's a chance, I'm still debating whether or not I may end up doing a separate review. I mean, the updates here and there didn't necessarily change the knife drastically all that much compared to the first one, but I may still end up doing a review either way. So let me know in the comments if that's something you're interested on learning more, finding out. If you definitely want to see that review video, definitely let me know. If you made it to this point, guys, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to the channel if you like knife and EDC content and you like it delivered on a daily basis. I promise you it will be worth coming back for more. And if you want to support the channel a step further, there's a link for Patreon down below, or you can simply support the channel right here on YouTube by becoming a channel member. You'll get access to exclusive perks. That being said, guys, check out the original unboxing on the original Tuya Wrath right here on the left, or check out the unboxing on the Caladan V2, Tuya Caladan V2 right here on the right. Again, I want to say thank you so much for hanging out with me until the very end. I really appreciate each and every single one of you for all your love and support. Take really good care, guys, and I'm going to catch you in the next video, either this one or this one. Peace.